Okay. Now let us start the class. What happened? Whenever I was conducting the class, power shut down. So this much of code only recorded, and I'm teaching from here. Okay. Now, so we were discussing about in for loop in Python. So this is the string. Okay. So suppose if string characters, how many characters it has? 6 characters. Sorry, 7 characters. No? So its index will be 7 minus 1. 7 minus 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 0 to 6. So 7 minus 1 means last index will be 6. How many characters it has? So for that, this code I have written. So it will display how many characters it has. 7 characters. So index is equal to 7 minus 1. So 6, last index 6. 0 to 6. 0 to 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 0 to 3, 4. Okay, now. So now come down. What is this? Loops in loops. 4, 5, 6. Okay. No issue. Now come down here. Okay. So length minus 1 means length 7 characters minus 1. So last index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So it will the print was there. How many times? From whenever I is equal to 0. So 0 to 6 means 7 times. So you compile this code now. You compile this compile this one. What happened? Okay. Now, how many times the print is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. From 0 to 6. Your index is from 0 to 4, 5, 6. Okay. 0 to 6. So, this is how to rotate, how to loop through string. This is called looping through string. So, loop through string. String. Looping through a string. Okay. Now, and if you want to get every letter one by one, for that, as I told you that this is just you put I. If you want to get all that letters in horizontally, okay, this operator end is equal to this one. Okay, you will get like this. If you don't want to get all this, if you want to get them in like this vertical, okay, how we are getting vertical? Because by this, if you remove this one operator, so simply you put I, okay, you will get the, this is compile this one. Now this is the, okay, no issue. Now come down. So now let us see. Suppose if you want to print numbers, if you want to print numbers, otherwise take a list. So loop through comment, loop through list. Okay. So list is what? Suppose declare a list. List name you can take anything. Okay, XYZ. Student list. Okay, student list. So list holds, always list will be defined in a square brackets. So this is a student list. So student list can hold only students, but in Python, a list can hold different values: string, integer, float, whatever. Okay, string. Rahul is a string. Okay, then comma integer. So integer means the numbers which don't have any decimal values. This is 10.5. This is a float because it has the decimal value. Okay, next complex number 4 plus j, comma boolean value. Okay, true. So list can hold different values. Okay, and list can hold duplicated values also. Duplicated, one more. Suppose true, same true, duplicated. True is what? Boolean value. So there is no issue. List can hold different values. Okay. So now if you want to iterate means if you want to travel through all these items, values, you want to get print out. So you can use for loop again. So initially, as I told you that one variable we need to take I. That may be I, you can take anything. School, Vasu, me, my name. So no issue. It is a variable because whenever loop goes at 0 index, as I told you that it, every first value from first value to last value index will be considered. Index is nothing but position. Okay, whenever it goes here, so at 0 index, this value will be stored in this variable, and whenever you call this variable, one by one, all the values will be printed. So this is a Vasu is a variable. Normally in programming, they will take I. So yeah, for your understanding, I am explaining that anything you can take that variable. So for Vasu, okay, now Vasu in, we need to say that look into where. So look into students. Student is a then colon, not semicolon, colon. So now come down, print, take print out statement. Now you need to call that list. Okay. Now you will get print out of all the values of your list. Compile now. Okay. Where is that? You clear screen. You compile, but Vasudev is printing, but student is not right. So let us see what will be the printout of what will be the result of this list. Okay, now, okay, you are getting this list printout. Okay, you are getting list printout. Okay, so what, this is meaning word name J is not defined. Okay, no issue. J means in VS Code, it will not take This is at complex number. Complex number means this is what number part. Number part means real number, and this is imaginary part. So in Python, um, VS Code, so it will accept like this. But in mobile, na, whenever I have tried to teach programming in mobile, Android mobiles, 4 plus J in mobiles, the IDE, that is Pydroid 3, it accepted. Huh? So now you want to get the you want to get the print the list. You want to print the list like this. So okay, let us start the class. Now see what happened here. Try to understand. Whenever a loop is declared with the different values, as I told you that this is the list. List will hold different values. Okay, string, integer, float, complex, and Boolean value, and list can be duplicated. Okay. In Python, list is what? Collection of, list holds collection of values. Okay, whenever we will study about the lists, I will make a separate class over lists. I will create a separate class over lists. So I will explain detailed ways. Okay, now how many values here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The length of student is equal to, if you um, if you if you want to find out the length is equal, print len of student. If this is called okay. Now you compile this one, you will get length of student is equal to 6. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the index is equal 0 to 5. So how many times loop rotated? 0 to 5. 0 to 5 means 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0, 1, 0, first 0, whenever 0 index. So the total, one iteration, the total loop, total list displayed at 0 position. Whenever index is equal to 1, this loop, that is what list printed second time. Whenever index is equal to 2, whenever index is equal to this total list is printed again. Okay. So now after that we will use range function. We can use the range function. Use range function used with the for loop. With for loop. Okay. See, what is the use of range function? So if I want to display numbers from here to from 1 to 10. So if I want to print numbers from 1 to 10, so I need to range function. It will take two values: initial value, starting number, ending number. So syntax is good for I in range. Range is a function. Range is a function. Okay, so here we need to pass two values. Okay, that is suppose 1 to 10. So after that column, now print I. Okay, I. So what happened now? 1 to 10. 1 to 10 means, so up to how many numbers will be printed? From 1 to 9 only. 1 to 9 only. Let us see what will be the printout. Okay, this is what from 1 to 9. Why? We have given 1 to 10, but 10 why it is not printed? Because as I told you that one initial position, one's position will be taken as 0. 0 will be taken as okay. So as I told you that we have given starting number to this is a range. So if I pass 0 from 0 to 10, so 0 to 10, so how many numbers will be printed? So as I told you that index will be initial index 0. Okay. So 0 to 10 means how many numbers? 0 to 10 means that length of this one. Length of this is equal 0 to 10 means 11. So 11 minus 1. 11 minus 1 matlab 10. So 10 index will be up to 10. Okay, so up to 10. The printout will be up to 10. Why? Because the total length of this range is equal to 0 to 10. Total length of this range is equal to 0 to 10 means 11. 11 minus 1 means 10. 0 to 10. So 0 to 10 will be printed. See, 0 to 0 to 9. Okay. 0 to 9 will be printed. Okay. Now what happened? So next is what? Range. We have completed range function. Okay. Next is equal to this is what? Student. Okay. So next. Okay. Now whenever I compile, so total list is iterated. Okay. So total list means every index, every index means whenever that is what this is a variable, as I told you that this variable, whenever this variable is 0, for 0 it iterates the total list, it prints the total list. So up to the last index. But if I want to get every value of this list as a print, because here I have passed the list name. That's why every time list is being printed, because I have passed the list name. This is the list name. No? So every time list is being printed. But if I pass Vasu, Vasu is a variable. No? So this variable, it holds, every time it holds this value. At 0 position, whenever index is 0, it holds Rahul and it gives a printer. So if I pass here, Vasu is a variable. Vasu means you can keep anything X, Y, Z. It doesn't matter. If you keep X, okay. If you pass X, so you will get the list values one by one. Okay, compile this code. Now you are getting where Rahul. Okay, this is Rahul 1 by somewhere Rahul. You are getting next is what Rahul 10, 10.5, 4J, true. Okay, the total values of the list printed one by one. Then after this one, 0 to 9 printed. Okay, this is separate for loop. This for loop, it is working over a range. Range means 0 to 9. Okay, next it comes where this for loop, it is printing the values of list. Okay, next what about this one? This is where this is a loop for loop, that is what for to print every character of this name variable. Every character of name variable. Print I. Okay. Now whenever we are calling name, print name, that this statement and this statement different. Both are in part of for loop. Under this for loop, this is called a block of code. A block of code will be executed under for loop. Block of code means how many lines of statement, 2 lines of statement, 3 lines of statement. That is called a block of code. Okay. So whenever we call I is a variable. It holds the values of name. Name is a variable which holds the string. So every time loop rotates, I holds the character and that character will be printed. But here, whenever you call the string, so up to the last index, every time the Vasudev will be printed up to the last index. Okay. This is one way how to get the values of a list. Okay. Next. And then we can also do for range function. 1 minute. So we can also range function. We can simply give the value. So what do you mean of this? Why it is giving? Why it is giving over? Whenever you give one bracket here, because function always open bracket, end bracket, but it is no needed. That's why expected, no needed. You remove this one. So in range function, simply we can provide a number. So what do you mean of this? So it will give the printout of its default value is equal to 0. Its default value function, it takes the default value as 0. Okay, now what happened? Whenever default value is equal to 0, so it prints up to 0 to 5, not 6 included here. 0 to 5. See, 0 to 5. Why 0 to 5? Because initially its default value 0. So whenever I is equal to, as I told you, the initial value will taken as 0. Okay. So from 0 to 5. 0 to 5 will be printed. Okay. Next, we can do one thing. Suppose in the range function, suppose 1 to 10 is there. So I can give, actually every time it will, this value, initial value will be incremented by 1. Okay. So we can give that increment size 2. So what happened? First 1 will be printed. After 1 plus 2, 3 will be printed. 3 plus 2, 5 will be printed. So that increment size I have provided here. So see, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So the increment size, as I told you that if I have not given the increment size, every time 1 next to 2, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, like that. Okay, but we have defined that this is the increment size. Every time it will be incremented like 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, like that. Okay, up to the last number. Okay, suppose if you want to get only this is what you are getting, what only the odd numbers. So this is one way to get the odd number, programming to write the odd numbers. Program to get odd numbers. Okay. This is one way to get the odd numbers. Okay, simply if you increment size you pass 2, so you will get the odd numbers. Suppose if you want to get even numbers, you need to do what? You pass the size as 0. If you pass the 0, you change this one 0. Okay. If you change the 0, initially 0 will be printed, then incremented plus 2. 0 plus 2, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, like that. You will get all the even number. The output as even numbers. 0, 2, 4, 8. So it is also one program to get even numbers. Okay. So next is what? The range. Suppose if you want to give range up to that is what 20, up to 20. So it will give all the even numbers from 0 to 18. So one more way to provide this range. Okay. One more way. Okay. Next, one more topic, that is what? Else with for loop. Okay. Else with for loop means we can keep else keyword with the for loop. Okay. How? Suppose here, once for loop completed, after that, if you want to get a printout statement, okay, after completion of the execution of the loop, printout statement will be printed. So else, okay, after else column, now print, okay, print, keep any string, single quotation. I told you that string can be kept in single quotation or double quotation marks. Print loop finished, loop finished. So now what? Whenever this loop is executed, after that, this print statement will be printed. Compile this code, loop finish. So we can use else block. Block why? Because under the else, whatever the statements, they will come under. See, this margin, if any keyword is there for else, while, okay, if else, okay, like that. So that moment, if else is there, so under this, whatever the line of statements we will use here, that is called block of code. A block of code. Okay, here only one line of statement is there. After that, two or three statements. The total line is called. Now here under the for loop, one line of code is there. So it is called one block of code. So if 10 lines of code is there, 10 lines called block of code, which is coming part of for loop. Okay. So now else block has only one statement that will be executed. We can use the else block with the for loop. Okay. Okay. Now here, suppose this list is here. So how to use break statement with the loop? How to use the break statement with loop? Suppose comment how to use break statement with the for loop. Okay, for loop. Take a list of fruits. Fruits is the list. As I told you, that list will be stored fruits. Okay. Okay. Orange. Orange is a string of, okay. Now orange, then after comma, one more string, papaya. Okay, and then one more string, banana. Banana. Okay. So what happened? Try to understand now. So how to use break statement with for loop? So if I use print, first of all, I need to use the for loop. Okay, for I in fruits. Okay, then column. So now what happened? Whenever you are requesting for print I, okay. So print I. So what happened? It will print every time initial I is equal to 0. So orange will be printed. So next, whenever I incremented to 1, index is 1. So papaya will be printed. That moment, if you want to break the loop, if you want to break the loop, if you want to break the loop before giving print of this banana, okay. So see how we can break. If I is equal to banana, okay. Now then break. So what do you mean of this? So see what happened. Initially I value is equal to 0. So whenever I is equal to 0, orange printed, no problem. So then I incremented to 1. Okay. So at 1 index, papaya will be printed. Next, I incremented to 2 index. So whenever 2 is there, so if I is equal to banana, okay, break. So what happened? So let us see. So it is giving orange, papaya, banana. Okay. So total loop is executed. Total loop is equal to executed. So this statement, these both you cut and you paste here. You paste. Then what happened? Let us see what happened. Orange, papaya. Only two values. Orange, papaya. We have gotten the printout only first two values. At 0 index orange and 1 index papaya. Why? Because if I is equal to banana, break. Okay. So condition we have written, if I is equal to banana, break, loop to be terminated. We have given the condition here. So whenever I 0 orange, so I is equal to banana. So I is not banana, I is equal to orange. So orange will be printed. So whenever I is equal to 1, it goes to papaya and papaya will be printed. Condition is what? If I is equal to banana, but I is equal to papaya, so papaya will be printed. So whenever I incremented, I value 2. Okay, banana. So now I is equal to banana. So loop terminated. Banana will not be printed. So before we can terminate the loop, okay, means the total whole loop will not be executed. Okay, that is up to you where you want to break the loop, at which element you want to break the. Suppose if you want to break the loop only after printing of orange, if you want to terminate the loop, so you put the value as papaya. So papaya means what happened? Whenever I is equal to papaya, so loop terminated. Okay, its loop stops at here. Whenever orange printed and I is equal to papaya, so breaks, loop breaks. Okay. This break will be, so if orange is there, papaya, if papaya is the only orange will be printed, the only papaya and banana. See what happened here? Papaya banana. Papaya banana means what happened here? Orange, papaya, banana. Three elements printed here. Three elements. Why three elements printed? Orange, papaya, banana. Total three elements printed, na? So I want to break the loop at here, but it is not happened. What should we do? Everything is, all the items are being published, na? So first of all, why? Let me check that all the items, orange, papaya, banana, all are being printed. So loop not terminated. Suppose if I keep the banana, two values will be printed. Only two values will be printed. Orange, papaya. Okay, now it is okay. But whenever papaya to loop to be stopped, I is equal to orange will be papaya break, but it is not happened. Is not happened. That is the problem. Orange, papaya, banana, all are being executed. We need to check back that. Okay, why? Okay, we were studying about how to use break statement with for loop. So it breaks before loop travels through all items, all values, whatever. So break statement with for loop. So it will be used. It breaks before loop travels through all values. Suppose loop is going one by one. So it is travels through all values, all elements. So before that, we can terminate the loop. See, for this, simply you call this as a print. Okay, print I. Okay. Then if I is equal to orange, break. You remove this one. So what happened? As per this statement, how to use break statement with for loop? It breaks before loop travels through all values. So the loop will be terminated before to reach all values. Okay. Suppose it is printing orange, next papaya. So whenever it goes to banana, so loop will be finished. But before that, we can break the loop. So for this, what happened? Whenever orange is there, so it breaks. Whenever orange is there, loop finished, orange printed. If I is equal to orange, okay, then break. I is equal to orange and then break means orange printed, then loop terminated. Okay. Okay. Now what happened? As per the statement, okay, break will be used. It breaks before loop travels through all values. Loop travels through all values one by one. first orange, next banana, and papaya will be printed. But what we have given here statement, if I is equal to banana, break. So print I. So first print I means I is equal to 0. 0 means 0 index orange. Orange will be printed. So then if I is equal to banana, checked. I is not banana. I is equal to first orange printed. Initially orange will be, as per syntax, print I. Print means I first word, I is equal to 0, 0, orange will be printed. Then if I is equal to banana, break. So orange is not equal to banana. So next, whenever I is equal to 1, banana. So banana printed. First print will be taken. Okay. So I is equal to 0. So orange will be printed as per print statement. First break will come after print. Break will come after print. So whenever banana is printed, then break. Okay. Statement is what? If I is equal to banana, then break will be taken. Okay. So that's why, so whenever banana is equal to banana, then break will be, so further loop will not go further. So this is, the print is what? Orange, banana. So whenever loop prints banana, so condition satisfies, so then loop will be broken, terminated. Okay, in second case, what happened? Here break, how the break will be function here, try to understand. Here, this is the result. So only orange first element printed. So why first element printed? The break. So if I is equal to banana, so break. So I is equal to not banana. So orange will be printed. First element will be printed. So condition will be checked first. After that, print will be printed. So if I is equal to banana, before going to print, break will be achieved. Okay. So if I is equal to banana, so orange is not banana. So first element will be printed. So then loop goes to banana, second element. So condition checks, condition is satisfied. I is equal to banana. So termination. So print will not be achieved. So two categories I have briefed here, how to use the break with the for loop. Okay. Next, one more is that, suppose how to use the pass. Pass is, suppose, pass statement. Suppose a for loop, you have declared a for loop. Okay. For I in, you have written I in range. You have written range 1 to 10. Okay, you have written like this. Then what happened? Okay, if you put print, then you will get the print statement. Then you will get the print up to 1 to 9. But if you don't want to keep any statement after the declaration of your for loop, so you simply put pass. Otherwise, it will give error. Because what happens, see, if you compile this one, you will not get any error. Okay, everything is being executed. But if you declare the for loop, under the for loop, okay, nothing, no any statement you have written. So it will give error. So this type of expected an indented block after first statement. So you will get this type of error. So expected indented block Indented black means expected, and indented black. Indented black means, so this is called up to this indentation. So after this, interpreter is expecting line of statements. Okay. Indented black means some margin, after some margin, line of statements, it is expecting. So interpreter is expecting some line of statements after this indentation. So after indented black means expected. So interpreter is expecting that in indented black. Black means some lines of code is called black. In programming, some lines of code is called black. Indented black means that is called, okay? You know. So next, let us try to understand. Let us try to understand continue statement. Continue statement. So what is the meaning of continue statement? If loop is, suppose here, this is our for loop, fruit is a list. Here, if place of this continue, if I, so what do you mean of this? If I is equal to banana, so whenever iteration is at banana, it skips this banana and continue with next iteration. What do you mean of continue statement? If banana I is equal to banana, so whenever loop is at iteration, it iterates at banana, so that will be skipped, and next it continues to next iteration. So only orange and papaya will be printed. So let us see. One orange and papaya will be printed. Okay. So meaning of continuous statement is what? If we are using continuous statement with for loop, whenever I is equal to banana, index is at banana. Okay. So whenever index is loop is iterating through banana, so that will be stopped, that iteration will not be printed, and it continues with the next iteration. That is called continue, use of continue statement. So as I told you that this is one way to get the nested loops, we can get the coordinates. How to get the coordinates printing? So coordinates we can do by this. Okay. If you put the here for outer loop, you don't want to get any print, and you put this comment, and the inner loop you put I comma j, so you will get the coordinates like this. Okay, in brackets. Okay, this is what for 0. 0 means first value of outer loop. For every 0 of outer loop, inner loop will be executed up to 9. After that, outer loop, first number will be executed. First iteration, one number will be executed for up to last 9 number. Okay, of inner loop. Next, number 2 will be, number 2 is what? Outer loop. Outer loop, third value, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then all the values of inner loop. So up to outer loop, what will be the outer loop? 6. 6 means last 0 to 5. So last iteration of the outer loop. Inner loop, all the numbers will be executed 0 to 9. Okay. If you don't want to if you don't want to see these brackets, nothing, you simply remove these brackets here. Okay. You will get the numbers like this. Okay. Next, what if you want to get the printout separately, so every time you get this, okay, under the outer loop, you will get the outer loop printout. And here, okay, for the inner loops, you want to get the inner loop printout separately. Put a comment here, inner loop. So now you will get the output like this, okay? So for outer loop, whenever outer loop, first iteration 0 will be printed. After that, inner loop, all the numbers will be executed. Then again, cursor goes to outer loop and second iteration, second value will be printed. After that, for the second iteration, all the inner loop values will be executed. For third iteration of outer loop, okay, all the inner loop 9 numbers will be executed up to outer loop 0 to 5. Last outer loop value is equal to 5. Okay, then after inner loop, all the numbers will be executed. So this is the story of nested loops, how to implement nested loops. Okay, nested loops. So okay, we can do some for loop. We can do some designs with for loop. Okay, how how it is happening? Let us check that. Okay, design with for loop. So normally in Python, if you request for print, this is a string. If anything kept in single quotation mark, double quotation marks, multiplied with 9. 9 is what? In integer. So string can be multiplied. String can be in Python, string can be multiplied with integer. So how many times? 9 times. So 9 x's will be printed. So here 8x will be printed. X 8 times. X 7 times 6. So see what happened here. So this is the 9 times, 8 times, 7 times. Okay, this is the printout. So what about this? This is here I have used the for loop. This is what every time I have taken a print. If I want to get 9 times print, if I want to get 9 times print, simply I have requested print x string. It is a string 9 times, 8 times, 7 times, 6 times. But here I have used the for loop. How? I have given the range, specify 1 to 10. So whenever I is equal to 1, whenever I is equal to 1, so that I will be, I is equal to 1 means integer. So loop rotates every time. Whenever initially I is equal to 1. So print this string with the I value. I value is equal to 1. So 1x will be printed. So whenever I is equal to, next I will be incremented. Incremented means I is equal to what? Next 1. So whenever, so next I will be 2. So whenever I will be 2, 2x's will be printed. So next I will be incremented to 3. Means initially 1, next incrementation 1 plus 1. So it incremented every time with 1. No? So whenever initially I is equal to 1. So 1 into x, 1x will be printed. Next, I will be incremented to 1 plus 1, 2. So now x into 2x's will be printed. Now I will be incremented 2 plus 1, 3. Now 3x's will be printed. Like that, last 9. Okay. You will get this type of design. This is design with the for loop in for loop. Okay. So this is what somewhat ascending order, incrementing order. So if you want to get decrementing order, simply you need to do what? You design, if you say this one is 10. Okay. This is what 1. So what initial value I is equal to 10. Initial I is equal to 10. So 10 into x. Like this, you will get the. Okay. Nothing will be executed here. We need to check back that actually what is happening. Whenever I is equal to 10, 10 into next. So decrementation. Here only incrementation will be. Only incrementation will be. It is taking only incrementation. So let us see. So see how to create the math table by for loop. One application of for loop. So here, see what happened here. This is the result. Okay. Suppose if you enter a number, you want to get the math table of 9 number. So you will get the math table like this. 9 1 is equal to 9, 9 2s are 18, 9 3s are 20, so 9 4s up to 9 up to 20. Why from 1 to 20? So because I have given the range here 1 to 21. I told you that last number will be excluded. So 1 to 21, that is the length. So minus 1. Okay. So 1 to 20 will be printed. But every time whenever I is equal to 1. Okay. So every range from 1 to 20. This is the range. Okay, 1 to 20. Now n is equal to your number, input number. So here I have used the input function. Under the input function, I have requested a string type of data, enter a number. Okay. Now input function will be used to prompt the ask the user to enter a number. We enter a number. So here user will feed the number. So that number will be stored in this variable that will be treated as a string. So I have used int function here to convert that string into integer type. So normally whatever the number you feed in input function, that will be, even though if you pass integer number, that will be considered as a string. So you need to convert that by input int function that convert string into integer. So now range, I requested for range. Now print n means whatever the number you are requesting for math table, suppose 9. So 9, this is the, every time you need to get what? This multiplication. So that multiplication symbol kept as a string. Type in. So next I is equal to what? This range. 1 will be taken as a range. Okay. Next is equal to, it is a symbol. Okay. Next I into n. I is what? The range. 1. So I into 1 into number. So this mathematical table will be printed. This is one more application of your for loop. So class is over. Jai Hind. Thank you. So lengthy class over for loop. Okay.